Now live on YouTube as well.
All right. Hey, YouTube Live, how you doing?
As usual, we have Buddy's left ear in the frame.
It's okay. You don't need to see me. I'm just here.
He's not very attractive.
Yeah,
YouTube, I'm sorry. I've talked to him repeatedly about the beard.
Hey,
is he going to shave it for?
I did
trim it. He trimmed it
like a week and a half ago.
All right. Mic's on.
It is on.
I'm going to grab a notebook real quick. Sorry about that. Hey,
right.
Psycho Bunnies, what do you think of this tie that I'm wearing here?
I love it.
You like that?
I'm a school fan. I love it.
I also have a pinhead tie.
Maybe the pinhead one rocks. Is really cool.
I'll wear that one next week. Give you a little sneak peek there. Is your microphone on?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's on.
I think we're ready to rock.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay, we're ready. You
ready
to start a podcast?
Let's do it.
Make sure my microphone.
Yeah, make sure your mic.
So I don't look like a fucking asshole in front of.
We were great until your mic was on.
Until I started talking. That's right, inmates. We're talking about Spider Baby from 1967. This one got 6.9 stars.
Sid Haig
on IMDb. Sid Haig in the house, if you can believe that, like a young 22-year-old Sid Haig.
I'm gonna scoot in here.
Oh, hey now.
Hey, baby.
Hey, let's get all up close and personal.
How you doing?
Sid Haig. Who else we got here? Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah.
The original Wolfman.
Yes.
Also in this one. And the Carol Omars. Now, couple of funny things about this one. This one was made in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my sister-in-law's in the house. What's
up?
What's up, Jessica?
What's up, Jessica? How you doing?
Have you seen a movie? No, you haven't, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Have you seen a movie called Spider Baby from 1967? Of course not. And the reason why you haven't is because you probably never heard of it, but we're going to tell you all about it right now.
You're welcome.
So,
hey, Monica.
Monica's in the house.
Nope.
That's Michelle.
Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
I'm going to need you to tone it down a little bit. You're a little too excited.
I am. I'm really excited.
Just take it easy.
There's so many people on. I just want to say hi.
All right. Everything's fine. We're copacetic here. It's Spider Baby from 1967. This one was written and directed by Jack Hill, which he went on to do absolutely nothing after this movie. Wow, so don't even worry about him. Hey, Raven's in the house.
Hey, Raven.
What's up, Raven? So what we have here, we're going to start our movie off with a African-American mail carrier who has this kick-ass little trike situation, which is pretty fucking dope. They look like fun to drive.
Yeah, I would drive one of those.
I do. I would drive the shit out of that around my neighborhood.
Right?
He's just cruising along, and he's in rural Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles is neither here nor there, but it's important to note that that's where this movie was filmed. So he's got a package to deliver to a very.
There she is.
Who's that?
Monica.
Oh, okay, Monica.
I foresaw you coming.
Okay, Monica. It's about time you showed up.
Yeah.
So he delivers a package to a rural house in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Mary House. Now, before that, we're actually going to cut to like a weird prologue in which a young man comes on. And this part is weird, and I don't fully understand this, except it's going to half-ass make sense towards the end.
It will.
He says that there is a psychological syndrome called Mary syndrome. Mm-hmm. And what this is completely fictional, by the way, so don't put any kind of weight on this.
Right.
It's a medical disorder in which your brain, starting around about the age of 10, begins to de-age itself.
Oh.
So you're 10 years old, and you're 9 years old, 8 years old, to the point where you're like in your early 20s and you're in a prenatal feral state.
Wow. I where Robin Williams did a film like that.
No, he went the opposite way.
Oh,
where he was like aging faster.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Jack, I think it was called.
Jack.
Although, don't give me.
Well, anyway.
Don't. That's not. It should be a horror movie,
right?
But it's not. It's a different thing. All right, so that's kind of wacky. But from there, we're going to catch up with our mail carrier, who is delivering a package to the Mary House, which is like a weird, secluded rural area somewhere off the far out reaches of Los Angeles. Yeah. Creepy house is what it is.
It is.
He rolls up. He's trying to find somebody to hand this package to. It's not really a package; it's more of an
And
envelope.
nobody wants to talk to him.
There's nobody out. Yeah, he stops at the neighbor's house. Like,
Yeah.
y'all know where the Mary house is?
They freak out.
They're like, if we did, we ain't gonna tell you.
Yeah,
And
no.
they just get their kids inside.
Yeah.
After
Weird.
that, he actually finds the Mary house, starts walking around. We get a pretty intense scene here. And there's a lot to be said for the actual suspense of this movie.
Yeah.
This scene in particular, there's quite a few suspenseful scenes in this movie, but this one in particular, because this guy's just walking around this big creepy house saying, anybody home?
Hello.
Anybody home?
Hello.
Please say yes, somebody home.
Anybody.
Now, from here, things get a little bit silly because he sticks his head into an open window.
Hello.
If I'm a mail carrier, I'm gonna throw the fucking envelope through a window and hop on my fun little trike thing.
I throw it right on the doorstep.
Get the fuck out of there, dude.
See ya.
This creepy old house, weird neighborhood. We got to get the fuck on. But he doesn't do that. He actually sticks his head in the window.
He actually wants to see what's going on.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of that shit. Whatever it is, creepy old house. I was walking by creepy old castle.
Let me stick my head in.
Said to myself, that castle is quite creepy and old.
Hello.
That's a little what we do in the shadows for you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. The window actually comes down and catches this poor old guy.
How did that close?
And now he's trapped. Clearly, this was the same house from the Amityville Horror.
Oh, okay.
Danny Lutz got his second and third fingers broke in the exact same window.
That's right.
Except it was a floor up earlier in the situation. Anyway, he's stuck there, and he's like, God damn it, I can't get out.
Oh, man.
Now, we're just going to have to suspend disbelief here for a second or two, Psycho Bunnies and Padded Room Inmates, and pretend that he actually can't get out.
Yeah,
because
what is that?
Right now, a fairly attractive, I'm going to say 19-year-old young lady comes running out of the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
With like a crochet net situation. She's like,
hello.
She's wearing like a nightgown too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this could have been a letter to Penthouse. Because this is an African American. Mail carrier. This could have gone a completely different way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to the Penthouse side. We're going to the unsolved mystery side, which is not the side you want to be on. If you understand what I'm saying. Hey, Angie's in the house.
Hey,
what's up,
Angie?
Oh shit! I have that. Mine was caused by kids. Yeah, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I feel you, odd mother.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. And then she comes out with this net thing, and she's like, "I got a spider in my web.
Yeah, here's
and I'm gonna. He's a big fat bug, and I'm gonna give him a big sting." And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" She throws this weird crochet net situation over him.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then she pulls out two butcher knives and just starts stabbing and slicing and cutting the fucking shit out of him.
That was really cool.
Just from like the waist up. Stevesy's in the house.
Hey, Stevie.
Stevesy. Stevesy.
I like this scene a whole lot, except for the fact that every time she would pull out her blades, no blood.
Well, it's black. It's a black and white situation.
Yeah, but black and white blood would be black, right?
It would be like Hershey syrup. Steve, can I have a moment with Steve? Steve, the San Francisco 49ers, I am sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I hate the 49ers, but
yeah, thank you.
A lot of my friends are Niners fans, and for you guys, I am
glad
sorry.
you guys lost. Thank you very much.
He said it, not me. Steve, I'm sorry.
I'm a Steeler fan. You know, it's all about the rings. Anyway, let's back to the movie.
I'm a Vikings fan, and for a second, I was like, and then I was like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah.
So we have a dead mail carrier on our hands, and that's not fun. I don't condone that type of behavior. Now, from there, we're going to cut to Lon Chaney Jr., who is rolling up in a very extravagant limousine.
It was nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Rolls up to the house. He pulls up and he sees the weird mail carrier tricycle out front. He's like, oh, fuck.
I know just what happened.
Somebody's here. Nothing good is going to come of this. He rolls through the gate. Now, let's talk about this house for a second or two. It's like a I would call it a palatial estate, but it has fallen into disrepair.
Yeah.
So we have the gate outside.
Uh-huh.
It's what you would think of when you think of the classic haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
The towering spirals.
It does,
All,
yeah.
but it's fallen in disrepair. So he
Mhm.
pulls up, he sees the man, he's like, oh shit. Pulls in, he gets out, he's like looking around, he goes inside and he's like, he starts calling for one of the girls. We're gonna meet these two girls.
Oh, man.
It is Virginia and Elizabeth.
Yeah. What would you like?
I'm gonna put you on hold with that because I have an opinion,
Oh, yeah?
but I'm gonna quantify that.
You actually have an opinion?
I have an opinion on which of the two that I enjoyed slightly more. But
Okay.
we'll just hold that thought. We're gonna come back to that. Steve Z just gave you a series of middle fingers.
Oh,
He did.
me or you?
Probably both. Well, no, your name is on.
Oh,
on it.
shit.
Maybe it was a macabre. What? Macrame web. That's a fair assumption.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Yeah, I would go with that.
Macrame web. It was pretty silly. It was like the size of a dish towel, though. So, I mean, if that's all you need for your spider web, then by all means, dish towel it up.
Dish towel, hand towel, full towel.
He goes inside. He's like, Virginia, Elizabeth, come down here. About that time, he sees the dead body that's half in, half out of the house. He's like, what the
Yeah, literally hanging half in and out the window.
Okay, Elizabeth. Apparently, Elizabeth. Okay, so we have two young ladies,
Uh-huh.
a blonde and a brunette.
Yes.
The brunette is the one that did the butchering of the mail carrier.
Uh-huh.
The blonde apparently is like 5 or 10 minutes older than the brunette.
And in charge.
The blonde is Elizabeth. The brunette is Virginia. So he's like, Elizabeth, come down here, please. And here they both come. And he's like, Elizabeth, I left you in charge. Yeah. WTF with the dead mailman.
Yeah, why did you do that?
And she's like, it wasn't me. It was Virginia. You should hate her for this.
You should hate her.
Is there an echo in this room?
Is there an echo in this room?
Buddy's had some shots before the show. I think we're up to 5. I've had just as many, but I had the wherewithal to eat something. So regardless, hey, the late horror shows in the house.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, you guys?
How you doing?
We're talking about Spider Baby.
Spider Baby.
So Virginia comes down. She's like, "Sorry, I was playing Spider, and he got caught in my web."
Yeah, he did.
And they're like, "Oh, fuck! All right." So he has like a little kumbaya circle. He opens up the back of the car, and we meet the third member of this clan of retards. Sorry, fucktards is what I meant to say.
Right.
And here we have Sid Haig. He's playing a young man by the name of Ralph, and he is stricken with the exact same Mary syndrome that the rest of the family is. So this guy's got it the worst out of anybody,
or the best.
Is like
Sid Haig.
I mean, I don't know how you describe him. He's like
fundamentally challenged.
If you could picture like a some kind of a shaved monkey kind of a thing,
bald,
no eyebrows on him either.
No,
which I thought was a strange creative choice.
Yeah.
But he comes out and he's like, and Lon Chaney's like, we're going to find out Lon Chaney plays a guy by the name of Bruno. Now, Bruno is in no way tied to this family, except he was the caretaker of the estate before the father passed away.
Yes.
And he made like a solemn vow to the father that he would keep an eye on the kids and do what's in their best interest, try to do what's in their best interest. So he lets Ralph out of the car and he's like, Ralph, we're home. And Ralph comes out,
crawling out of the car.
Yeah. And so Ralph is now out. And then we have like a kumbaya circle there on the front porch. He's like, girls, I told you not to play Spider with anybody ever. And they're like, sorry, but he came by. And whenever somebody comes by, we have to play Spider with him.
How can you resist?
Quite easily.
Okay.
Mailman comes to my house once a day. I don't kill him.
No?
No, I don't.
Oh.
And I don't set elaborate traps in my window for him to, well, I don't have a creepy house to begin with. That's a whole other thing.
Maybe you should start.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm not doing that. That's nothing good's going to come of that. I'll tell you right now. The thoughts and opinions of Buddy do not reflect the thoughts and opinions of the Padded Room podcast.
No?
Moving on. So he's like, "Oh, dude, you guys are out of control. I'm gonna have to lock you up at some point or some shit. I don't know. You guys are nuts. So you killed a mailman for Christ's sakes." While they're having this conversation,
It's a mailman.
one of the envelopes that the mailman was carrying drifts by. They grab it, pop it open. Turns out they have some distant cousins that think they have a legal stake in the Merry Fortune.
Yeah.
I.e., there's going to be some people rolling up to the house here pretty soon.
About that.
Like as in today, and this could be a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
At this point, we're going to cut to somewhere else in Los Angeles where we're going to meet these cousins. We have Greg and Emily. Now, I know what you're thinking.
What are you thinking?
Psycho Bunnies. You're thinking to yourself, this sounds an awful lot like the plot of the first Addams Family movie. And you're right.
A little bit.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
It does. But this is where things get a little I'm not sure. I don't think Greg and Emily were actually cousins.
No?
I felt like they felt like con men to me. Did you get that vibe?
Not like what?
Con men. No? Like they
No.
Okay, they might have actually been their cousins. But
I think they were.
they had a very shady feel to them.
There
to me.
was some shady feel to it, but I don't think they were cousins. Maybe they were.
I don't know what's going on. I love drunk buddy, Odd Mother says. Yeah. Hammered right now.
Drunk? Really?
Yeah, you're drunk. You are drunk. We should have peeled back those shots a little bit. Regardless, he's just going to keep repeating what I say. So.
You're repeating what you're saying.
Moving right along, these two are shady as shit. Emily is like a money-grubbing whore.
Yeah, right.
And we get that vibe right off the start. Greg actually has like a conscience on him a little bit. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this. It's really weird. Right. They get to the house. Now, from there, they start like sniffing around. Emily's like, this is going to be my house. It's going to be awesome. Greg stays in the car because he's a little weirded out by the whole thing. He's like, it's an old creepy house. I don't know that I want any part of this business. Emily's snooping around. She runs into Ralph. Said, hey. And Ralph gives her a which freaks her right out. She runs back to the car. They kind of hang out in the car for a second, and that's when their attorney rolls up. From now on, this attorney will be referred to as Miniature Hitler. He's got the full Hitler mustache. He's about 4'9", ish. But he also brought his screaming hot secretary with him.
She was hot.
Not by my standards, but by 1967 standards.
Or my standards.
Or Buddy's drunken ass standards. Quite possibly. She's fairly attractive. Her name's Anne.
Anne?
I believe. Was it not Anne? Her name's Anne. I'm going to call her Anne.
Okay.
And this guy jumps out and he's like, oh, all this is going to be yours, Emily. And for, my low commission, we're all going to do great here. Here comes Bruno and the Psycho Kids. And they're like, hey, whoa, hey. Yeah. We don't have visitors around here, you motherfuckers. You just get right back in your car and get the fuck out of here.
Zoom.
And he's like, oh, no, you can't kick us out. This is technically our house now. So this is all ours. Blah, 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 blah. And Bruno's like trying to be really nice. He's like, okay, well, I tell you what, why don't you just get the fuck out of here and
we'll take care of this.
Send me a letter or some shit. He's
something.
Like, no, this is our house now. We're staying for dinner. And Emily's there. She's like, I'm your Aunt Emily, kiddos. Bruno's been taking care of you, but he's not actually family. I'm family. Has Bruno even been feeding you? How's he going to feed you dinner if there's no food in the house? And Bruno's like, fuck.
I'll think of something.
All right. You know what? You want to stay for dinner? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to stay for dinner? Go ahead. Go ahead. Stay for dinner.
Stay for dinner.
Fucking assholes. You know what? We're gonna have dinner, and you and your attorney and his secretary and cousin Greg here. Go ahead. Stay for dinner.
Stay for dinner. See what happens.
Now we get to some weird shit. We start with Sid Haig like creeping around the state property, and it wasn't actually stated that he killed a cat, but we did see him creep up on a cat, and then they have like a weird what they called a rabbit for dinner.
Yes, but there was a
I don't think it was a rabbit. man.
I don't think it was rabbit. I think it was the cat. There was that whole when he caught it.
Yeah, nothing good. I
No,
don't think. I don't think. I think they ate
it's
the cat.
not a rabbit.
I think they ate the cat.
Yes,
That's what
they
I'm
ate the cat.
leaning towards. So we have that. Then we have Virginia, who's out like doing like a low crawl
Right.
across the front lawn,
Uh-huh.
and she finds herself in this bizarro mushroom patch. All of a sudden, all right, that's weird, and things are like weird things are happening. So now we're going to cut to the actual dinner itself.
Dinner.
They ate the. Monica says they ate the cat. I agree.
They ate the cat. I agree with you, Monica.
I agree. I'm with Monica on this one.
Mhm.
So that's pretty nasty and weird. And now we cut to the actual dinner. It's super.
Monica, would you eat the cat? Of course not.
Of course not. Are you crazy? Now we cut to the actual dinner itself.
Yeah.
It's super awkward because what we have is Greg and Emily. We have the Psycho Girls and Ralph, who's now wearing like a weird sailor outfit.
Yeah, weird.
We have Bruno, who's like leading this bizarro orchestra.
Uh-huh.
And right before dinner, we get a very bizarre scene of Bruno feeding the aunts and uncles. Now,
Yeah, that was weird.
the aunts and uncles apparently live in the basement of this house.
Yeah.
And they are stricken with the same disease that the rest of the family line has, but to an extreme context, to where like they can't function at all.
At all.
Like picture the have you seen The Loved Ones? It's kind of like that, but
if you haven't seen The Loved Ones, how would that?
If they were actually zombies underneath the kitchen, it would be similar to that.
Okay.
That's nasty. It's gross. We're gonna get to know what was it, Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara.
Yes.
We're gonna get to know them a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But to that point, he has to go down there. There's like a weird dumbwaiter situation where like Ralph gets lowered up and down, and they lower food up and down. That's how they get rid of the body of the mailman.
Right.
They just feed it to Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara via the dumbwaiter situation.
That's the dumbwaiter is usually for like laundry,
that sort of thing.
Yeah, you just bring it down. Hey, let's just wheel that sucker all the way down there.
You know, garbage.
Garbage.
I don't want to smell this anymore. Let me just wheel it down there and leave it there. And whoever's in charge of the basement can deal with that.
I want a dumbwaiter. Those things are pretty cool.
You need like a multiple story house for that.
Oh, that's true. I guess a one-story house wouldn't do very good for that.
It ain't gonna go nowhere.
No,
it's not going anywhere.
It'll be right where you left off.
So those weren't mushrooms.
What were they?
What do you think they were, Monica? If they weren't mushrooms? Oh, whatever. Man.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Anyways.
So that's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
And the dinner gets very awkward. Now we have like a weird salad situation, which really looked like a bowl of weeds.
It did.
We have the dead cat, which people are trying to eat because they don't want to be rude. We have like a weird slop situation that only the two girls are eating. Yeah. It was like a weird slimy, I don't know. They're like, hey, you want to try some of this? It's just, we made it just for the girls. And they're like,
no, thanks.
No. Now, right about now, Uncle Greg, as we're now going to call him, and the attorney's assistant, Anne, are like, you know what? Peace out, y'all. This is too weird. We're going to go back to town.
Yeah.
We're going to get a room at the hotel. We're going to have a few drinks. And we're going to get a nice meal. And there probably isn't enough room for us at this old house anyway.
Why would there be?
So we're just going to go ahead and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So they take off. Now, Emily, the lawyer, Minnie Hitler, and they're the only two that stay behind.
Yeah.
So they half-ass eat their dinner, or at least fake eating the dinner, and then they decide they're going to go to bed for the night.
Yeah.
Now, this is where things get even weirder because we're going to cut to Emily's room. They give her her own room. Apparently, there's no electricity in this house.
None.
So whenever anybody needs to leave their room or go to the bathroom or something, they have to carry one of those old school lanterns, lantern things. Emily goes to her room. Bear in mind, this movie was made in 1967. Gets in there, immediately starts disrobing and trying on weird negligees that she found.
I like the candle thing.
The candle thing?
Yeah.
It was weird. I mean, this movie, we had electricity in 1967.
Yeah.
This is a creepy old house. I get that.
I like the candle thing.
Okay, I mean, whatever you're into, man. She gets in there and starts like, I'll tell you what was her name? Catherine Omar
Uh-huh.
had a bit of a body.
A little bit, yeah.
And for 1967 standards, we
It's
got to
quite
see
all right.
we got to see some skin.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Oh yeah, I think we all do.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yes.
I mean, no nipples or anything like that, but it
No.
was still pretty nice.
It works.
She gets into she's got like a weird negligee situation. She's like parading
Mm.
around. While that's going on, we're gonna cut to the lawyer's room. Minnie
Oh.
Hitler. He's like, you know what? Something fishy's going around here, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Oh boy.
So he just decides to pop right out of his room and start investigating the house.
Investigate.
I mean, it's a creepy old house. It's like walking into spider webs. And this is a good chunk of our movie here because we get like a good 10 to 15 minutes of these two knuckleheads
Walking around.
investigating the house. A lot of taxidermy animals, a lot of like creepy paintings where the eyes follow you around the room.
Yep.
It's creepy. It's 1967. Who gives a fuck?
What do you get?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, though, is that at one point previous to dinner, the attorney saw Ralph in that weird dumbwaiter room with the secret panel that unlocks the hidden door.
Yep.
So he's like, I'm going to go down there and figure that shit out. So he goes down to the basement where Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara are, and he's like, what's going on in here? Maybe they're hiding money or something. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. While he's down there, he's like, fucking, this shit is weird. Decides he's going to leave the basement, turns around. Virginia and Elizabeth are standing on the staircase.
Oh, shit.
This is probably one of the best scenes of the whole movie. Because this little prick is scared shitless, turns around. Already, there's two backlit silhouettes standing on the staircase.
No.
Now, I need you to tone it down, big guy. I need you to just chill out. I'm trying to do the show here. So, who dresses like that in a strange house? Horny old women, Monica.
Yeah.
You're a horny old woman yourself. So
you should know that.
We're going to get to that in 2 seconds.
You're in this.
But he turns around, spots these two silhouettes on the staircase. He's like, hey, listen, you girls. There's some weird stuff going on here, and I intend to get to the bottom. They don't fucking move.
So,
and that's creepy. And he's like, all right, clear out of there. I'm coming up. They don't move again. All right, get on. Finally, he shines his flashlight on them. They're both holding like two butcher knives. Like, we're going to fucking get you. As soon as he shines his light on them, they start with that spider routine again. Yeah. We got another bug in our web, and we're going to get him. He tries to do like a swim move on him to get up the stairs. Like he's going to, like, you know,
I got you.
I'm going to duke you in the move right. But they like get him in the side, and they just pounce on him and stab the living piss out of him. That's good. Pretty creepy. Right about this time, we are going to cut back to Bruno. Bruno is... Oh. If there is a sympathetic character in this movie, it's Bruno.
Would be it.
It's Bruno, man. And you got to wonder about Lon Chaney Jr. and what was going on in his career around about 1967. I mean, other than The Wolfman, he really never had much of it. The Wolfman, Abbott Costello, those movies, he never really had a staunch career.
No.
Other than living off his father's name. It's not to say he's a bad actor, but he just couldn't seem to get it going in any kind of a serious theatrical role. He was just kind of the horror guy, but because of his body type and his half-ass acting ability, he kind of got bottlenecked into these kind of roles. Regardless, cut back to him. He's like, he finds the dead attorney. He's like, oh, fuck. What the fuck, girls? Come on. All we had to do was act like normal human beings for one night. You couldn't hold it together. Nope. So again, we have another kumbaya circle there in the basement, and he's got the two girls and Ralph. He's like, okay, you killed the lawyer. Good for you. That's the good news. The bad news, though, is that now even more lawyers are going to show up, and they're not going to be as nice as Minnie Hitler here, which is going to create more problems for us in the long run. So, you know what? I got a special toy for you guys to play with. I got a big surprise. You're going to love this shit. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes, and I'm going to go get you this special surprise. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
5 minutes.
So he jumps in the car and hauls ass. Right now, we're going to cut back to Greg and Emily, who are out having, or not Greg and Emily, Greg and Ann, who are having a wonderful night out in the town. getting shit-faced.
Oh yeah.
They are now drunk driving around whatever town this is supposed to be.
Whatever. Yeah.
They're hammered, and they're like, we're going to go back to the hotel, and we're going to call it a night.
Yeah. How about this one?
There might be some anal involved.
Oh.
They can't find a room anywhere in this little town. They're going all over the place. They're hammered. They're like, we should have got a room before we got hammered.
No anal vacancy.
Because, I mean, everywhere we go is book solid. So back to the house. Which is fine. But because Bruno is hauling ass from the house and they're now headed to the house, they get into like a weird sideswipe situation. And this part is really weird because Bruno like runs off the road and runs them off the road. So they're kind of like
parallel
in a weird, but we're going to cut to Bruno's car where he's like,
did you see that? Oh my God.
He's so excited about this car accident.
Yeah.
He's like sweating in the car for no reason. Greg and Ann are like, well, back to the house anyway. We'll sort this car accident thing out later. They get back to the house. Bruno, we're going to cut intermittently to and from Bruno. Bruno, what we're going to see is like weird shots of him parking in weird lots, creeping across weird fields, breaking into a weird storage shed, which seems to be in the middle of nowhere for no reason. But back to the house. Now, at this point, Ralph is out.
Oh yeah.
Emily is still creeping around the premises trying to find out what's going on, where the money is, if there is any money. Ralph accosts Emily in like a weird situation because Emily finds the dead body of the attorney, and she's like, "Oh shit!" The girls see the dead body, so now we get a very House of a Thousand Corpses chase sequence.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, because it's like, Summer's in the house. What's
up, Summer?
Because she's taken off through the woods that are around the house. The two girls are running around in nightgowns, mind you, with butcher knives trying to chase her down.
I'm okay with that.
In the meantime, Ralph is also on the loose, and he's going to try and chase this Emily chick down, who looks very good in this little negligee situation. So, big chase sequence, very House of a Thousand Corpses. Run, rabbit, run!
Run!
Eventually, Emily zigs when she should have zagged and runs right into Ralph. Now, I can't tell you with any degree of certainty what exactly happened here, other than to say camera cuts away and we get a lot of moaning and groaning. Now, it's easy to say that Emily was dead, but she's not. We're going to cut back to Emily in a few minutes. Because right about now, Greg and Ann are pulling up to the house. And they're like, we're drunk. Kind of like Buddy. We're drunk. And we need a place to sleep. And
right here.
I am sorry that we shat all over your dinner plate. Or whatever that was supposed to be. So they go inside. As soon as they walk in, the two girls meet him. And they're like, hi, welcome back, Uncle Greg.
Hello.
Ann goes with Elizabeth, and Greg goes with Virginia.
Right.
Virginia does the spider web thing on him again, throws him down in a lazy boy, throws the net over him, ties him up. He's halfway in the bag.
Oh yeah.
And he's probably got a rock solid heart on.
I'm sure.
He thought he was gonna bang Ann, but now here comes hot little Virginia with her nightgown. So he's like, oh, you want to tie me up?
I'll take a little bit of this.
All right, let me go ahead there, sweetie. We'll put my hands back here. Is that what you want? Go ahead. Sorry, Facebook keeps kicking me out. Sorry about that, mother. Oh, my wife is in the house. Hey,
hey!
I'm gonna, Mrs. Brock. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and not watch this anymore.
Hello.
From there, I mean, it gets a little kinky there, and if we're led,
it does.
We're led to believe that Greg is actually Virginia's uncle, which is going to make this even weird.
Why is that weird?
Because that's her uncle.
Man.
But
that's weird.
We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yes.
So ties him up. He's like, oh, okay. Elizabeth takes Elizabeth takes Anne upstairs
Mhm.
where Ralph is like hiding, and they've
You
got like
bet.
this ambush set up. So Ralph grabs Anne, throws her in the dumbwaiter, and
Mhm.
it's funny because the dumbwaiter actually goes through the room where Greg and Elizabeth are playing their weird spiderweb fuck game.
That was just silly.
So yeah, like Greg's got his back to the dumbwaiter. Here comes Ralph and Anne, and Ralph's got her like in a chokehold, and Virginia's like, "Hey,
You don't say that.
yeah, now I'm gonna give you a little peck because that's what spiders do." So Virginia gets kind of rapey with Greg here for a second. She
Yeah.
like sits on his lap and starts like kissing his neck and his face, and he's like,
Mhm.
"I'm hammered, but whatever."
Yeah,
And
right.
at the same time, it's like, that's your fucking niece, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What's going on here?
Inbreeders.
I mean, apparently it runs in the family, so
Literally.
whatever, man. I'm not judging, although I probably should. I probably should in this
Yeah,
case.
you probably should.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
No.
make out with your cousin or your uncle.
Preferably not.
Either one. Don't make out with either one of them.
Okay.
So that's pretty nasty. But then once the dumbwaiter goes down, then Virginia jumps back into spider mode. Now,
Right.
the dumbwaiter goes down to the basement,
Mhm.
and Ralph is like manhandling Anne down there.
Mhm.
Elizabeth comes running down to the basement, and she's like, "Oh, she's supposed to be dead. She's not
Yeah.
dead." So she runs back up to the room where Virginia is fucking with Greg on the point of killing him.
Mhm.
Pokes her head and is like, "Virginia, come here." So Virginia goes out there, and she's like, you know how Ralph normally like kills people and stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, he's not doing that anymore.
No.
I don't know what his problem is." So Virginia's like, "You know what, Greg? You stay in my spider web. I'm gonna run downstairs. I'll be right back." So they run downstairs where Ralph all of a sudden is having this crisis of conscience and refusing to kill Anne.
Oh.
So they're like, "Ralph, what the fuck, man? She's supposed to be dead already."
Mhm.
And Ralph was like, and he's just like,
How's that go?
he's like groping her and pawing at her and stuff. It's very
Yes.
rapey.
Yeah.
They're like, "You know what? Just tie her down to the table. We'll kill her in a second."
Mhm.
So they run back upstairs, or Virginia does, and she's like, "You know what? By this time, Greg has gotten himself out of the weird spider web situation,
Right.
and it's like he's like tied to a rocking chair, so he's like rocking himself back and forth against the wall." This part is actually pretty silly because
It is.
it's and I'm not sure what the architecture involved here is, but it gets very wacky. As they run back downstairs, Greg rocks himself through a wall,
Yeah.
breaks the chair open, and
How
goes
did that even
tumbling
happen?
down the stairs to the basement. So there he is. We have Ralph, we have Elizabeth and Virginia, who are on the point of killing Anne. Greg suddenly is like, "Oh God, I'm drunk,
Mhm.
and I've been molested by my niece,
Oh.
and I don't know what." Oh, wait, hey, there's the chick that I was going to have sex with back in the city, and she's tied to a table, and they've got like a weird bra situation where like the one strap is down and one boob is on the point of coming out.
Right.
Like at any second,
So close.
that nipple could just ching right out.
Anytime.
It doesn't though,
No.
because it's 1967.
Right.
So we get like a little bit of a fist fight between Ralph and Greg.
Mhm.
Greg manages to save Virginia just as Bruno is making his way back into the house. So Ralph grabs Anne, hauls ass out of there, back into the car. Away they go. Bruno is
Mhm.
coming down the stairs. He's like, the girls are about to chase after Greg and Anne. Bruno's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 girls! Hey, wait! I know you want to go find those guys, but hold on. Let me show you this really cool toy I brought you."
Yeah.
So he gets all the girls together and Ralph. They're in the basement. He's like, "No, don't worry about them. It's going to be fine."
Mhm.
And right about now,
It's gonna be great.
Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara come out of their weird basement crypt situation. Uncle Ned,
Yeah.
that weird what is that? That circus Wolfman situation where you got hair coming out of your face?
Right.
What is that? It's not lycanthropy.
Lack of shaving.
It's no, there's like a whole thing. It's like a whole syndrome. It's gross though. You don't want
Yes.
it. Aunt Clara just looks like a pretty a meth head is what I'd call
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
For
It's
lack
pretty
of a better
close.
term. And they're like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Oh, great, Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara's here. Come over here. I got a great toy for
Where did
you."
it come from?
He pulls out the suitcase. It's a stick of dynamite. Lights it up.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Come on, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a big surprise. It's
Yeah.
gonna go down, and then we're gonna
Ta-da!
boom, and then everyone's gonna be happy." So the girls all gather around, and basically Bruno blows himself up along with the girls, Ralph, Aunt Clara, and Uncle Ned.
Boom.
And then we cut back to our original narrative of Greg telling the story of Mary syndrome, which is this degenerative mental disease that causes you to do this. And he's like, hey, I married in, and we got the Mary family fortune, and we got a nice house here. Didn't look that nice, really.
No, really.
And that's pretty much the end of your movie right there. It was pretty.
Well, the daughter went out there to.
We have like a postscript where Greg is like, you know what? We are no longer afflicted with this disease, and everything is a-okay.
And
here's my daughter, and then the daughter like goes out to the backyard and just stares at the camera.
I think she was after something.
There was like a bunny flopping around or something. And she's like,
I think she actually went to eat the bunny,
or was going to do something other terrible with the bunny. Bad business either way, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty much your movie, man. What did you think of Spider Baby?
I liked it. 19-year-old Sid Haig.
Weird looking guy.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of a Michael Berryman type.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to have to watch that. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Odd Mother. It's on YouTube for free. It's actually a public domain movie, so you can watch it anytime you want. If you don't like the transfer on YouTube, you can go to, I think it's publicdomain.org. Find it there. There's hundreds of places you can find it.
Oh, yeah.
Ugly. Monica did not care for a young Sid Haig. I agree. And I think it has a lot to do with the shape of his head.
Yeah.
Because he had a very egg-style cranium. And just like the weird...
he was also younger then.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't get any more attractive with old age.
Well,
that's what I would say. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's actually a colorized version of this if anybody wants to see it. I'm going to recommend the black and white version. Actually.
I like the black and white.
It's that weird Turner style colorization where it looks like everything is made in like weird pastels, and it's like almost cartoony in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
No, the little girl. I'm going
Summer. Yeah, you are gonna have to rewatch it.
Check it out, Summer. It's on YouTube. If anybody needs a link, we'll post it to the Padded Room page. You can find this one anywhere though. So check it out.
Good movie.
Other than that, I think we're going to take ourselves a little break, and we'll come back with some other stuff.
Thanks, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah.
We'll hang for another minute or two. Any questions, comments, concerns, complaints from the Psycho Bunny Death Cults?
Encouragement.
Or YouTube. Buddy's hammered. It's my fault. He got here at like 6. I've been feeding him shots.
I've been here since like 2 a.m.
Last night. The previous night. Yeah, man. I passed out. Did you pass out during...
Oh, yeah, that's right, Summer.
Did you pass out during the movie or during our live feed, Summer?
Towards the end of it, right?
Okay. Well, he blows up the whole shit.
Yeah.
And Greg gets everything. It's bizarre, man. It's a bizarre movie. It's not a bad show.
Not bad at all.
A weird it's reminiscent of an old dark house because you have the situation where you have like some travelers or some wayfarers that break down or for whatever reason have to take shelter in this obscure location. And that's pretty much what happens here. Yeah. Except in most instances of this, our travelers are the innocent babe in the woods types, except in this case, they're actually pieces of shit and money grubbers. And thus you don't...
Which one of the two do you like?
As
brunette or the other one?
I go with Virginia, the brunette. I've always had a weakness for brunettes. I've never liked blondes myself. I've never been into blondes. I don't know why, just not my thing.
Okay.
Plus, she was like, I felt like she was more attractive.
I think so too.
Elizabeth kept doing this weird face, like a weird, like all the time. She's like, Virginia killed the mailman.
The stink face.
Yeah. The stink eye.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't care for that. I don't like that. I just felt like she was more attractive, Virginia.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Crazy, obviously. She's stabbing mailmen in the face for no apparent
throwing
reason.
a net at him.
Yeah.
Pull out these dual-wield knives.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring my own knives to that
Oh,
party.
yeah?
You want to throw me in your web? You want to play spider with me, baby?
Game on.
Bring it. Bring it.
Bring it.
I brought my own
It's
spider web.
rotten.
I'm going to put you in my web. Is what's
That's
going to
right.
happen.
There
Except
is
I don't
spider
need knives.
web.
I just need condoms.
Oh.
We're taking this in a whole other direction.
Yeah, I don't think they have those in webs.
Usually not, but
No.
like I said, I'm going to bring my own.
All right.
That's what's happened. Spider Baby, check it out. It's on
Yes.
It's on YouTube.
Mhm.
Publicdomain.org. It's actually
Good movie.
a public domain movie.
Yeah.
So you can find this for free just about anywhere. If anybody needs a link,
19 years old.
hit me up. I'll send you a link to this one. You can find it anywhere. It's a pretty good show. It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
too,
not
so
bad at all.
You can be in and out of there in no time.
Mhm.
All right, Psycho Bunnies and Padded Room inmates, thank you again for joining us. Buddy will be slightly more sober next week. I promise you that. Or slightly more drunk. I never know which way. You never know which way this guy's going to show up. PaddedRoomPodcast.com is where you find anything you need to know about us, Miss Monica, Horror for Dummies, Cake Wolf's Happy Hour, Wicked Wednesdays, Who Will Survive, the Piecast, any of the other Dark History, any of the other shows that we offer over there at the Padded Room Network. Also have a Patreon link. If anybody gives a shit, you can find that there also. Not that we're asking for money, but if you feel like making a small contribution, that's where you can do it. We have plenty of prize swag for you and you. And other than that, I think that's all. What are we doing next week? Did we ever decide on a movie?
We haven't decided.
Hold that thought. No, actually. All right, I'm going to pull something right out of my butt. Hillbilly Horror.
Right out of your butt.
Give me a hillbilly horror movie.
Somebody, anybody.
Throw one out there. We already did Hotel Hell. It's strange. Motel Hell. It's strange that I don't know that I would call this a.
I think
Spider-
so. Inbred.
I mean,
The whole spider
yeah,
baby thing is
yeah.
inbred.
Killbillies. Monica, we're saving that for the last week.
Yeah, next
of
week.
The month. It's easy to go to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't want to do that because I feel like we've beaten that one to death. We did a whole season of the Saw back in October. I'm going to hit you with. Hills Have Eyes. We've already done, Natalie.
Already done that.
Both versions, actually.
Mm-hmm.
God fucking damn it. Join us next week for Hatchet.
Wow. Oh boy.
I'm setting myself up for failure with this one.
Yes,
Join us next week for the original Hatchet.
Yeah.
Until then, inmates and Psycho Bunnies.
Ready? Mm-hmm.